the rewards are reaped only by the conscientious actor, the actor that takes it extremely serious. Like acting school, you can't. I mean, people go to theater school because I want to be an actor. And I want to be an actor. I want to, you have to take, when you're in school, theater school, you have to take it just as serious as law school or med school. When you're in a theater program. And some people go, particularly on the undergraduate level, and it's a big party, for 4 years. Maybe the parents are paying the tuition so they can afford the party. And even if they're not, it's you have to take the craft of acting seriously. And I tell people all the time, my advice to aspiring actors, particularly actors, is that be a lawyer or a doctor or an Indian chief or something else, because there's no formulas for success in this business. It's not like it's not like in Britain where actors are looked on as a noble profession, where you can always work in the theater. You may not be a big movie star, but you can earn a living. Not in the United States. You can't earn a living on the stage in the United States, Unfortunately, unless you're a song and dance person and you hook up with a musical on Broadway and you go from one musical to the other. But if you're a person of color, you'll be in the back kicking your leg up and dancing, but you won't be able to work consistently around the country, not in the great roles. And so I tell people in the college and the university levels to take it seriously, because it's going to be the only time in their careers when they will live and breathe the theater for 16 hours a day, when they'll play 4 and 5 roles in 6 months. Well, they'll get to do all of those characters and get to do all of those plays, because when they graduate, it's over. Now you got to pay rent. Now you got to struggle. Now you got to get an agent. Now you got to find representation. Now you have to find an apartment. Now you have to do all those things. And that school, university experience is over. And sometimes you don't appreciate it until it's gone. And then you say to yourself, man, I played Richard III, the women could play. I played Desdemona, Lady Macbeth, and this role, that role, and Hedda Gabler all in one semester. And then she or he may not ever play those roles again in life. So, and the worst thing about it, the very next year, there's a brand new influx of new actors coming into the business from the graduate schools. And who do they give the job to? They give it to Snoop Dogg. And so it's no formulas for success. It's extremely tough. It's a dime a dozen. I use an analogy that there's a wide river of actors and actresses, but there's only a tiny pond of real talent. And what I mean by real talent is not who's necessarily can act better than the next person, not who's prettier, not who's more handsome, not who's taller, not who has a better voice, not who looks like a soap opera, not who looks like a goddess, but who are the more conscientious people about the craft. That's the tiny pond. There's actors swimming all over the place, but that tiny pond of people, this is their life's blood. They decided they wanted to be an artist. Like a painter decides they want to be an artist, and their parents are screaming at them because they got canvases and paint all over the house and everything. But that's the life that they chose. And they're not looking for fame and fortune and riches. They're looking to purge something within themselves on that canvas. And the stage actor is looking for the same thing. He's looking to advance civilization in his work. And you do it because if somebody is moved by your performance and truly moved by your performance, the residue of that event will stay with them for as long as they live. For as long as they live. And they'll always come back to that some point in their lives and say, man, I remember seeing that play. Oh, that, and it's in some ways and somehow, in some dimensions, it makes them a better human being in some way or another. And that's how you advance civilization as a stage artist. You don't change the world. A person don't walk out and say, well, I was a knucklehead before I came in, and now I'm a good person. That's not it. It's a process that you make theater goers out of them. Maybe they've never been in a theater before, and now they're theater goers. Maybe they didn't know how to deal with certain things, but from a play they found out how to deal with certain things. Maybe they were afraid to express their emotions, but they see big and gigantic and extremely passionate emotions on the stage, and they know it's okay to be emotional, So, but that's if they're moved. If they're not, if they see some actors up there, oh well, walking and talking and just doing it, then that's not advancing civilization. That's not even worth picking up the check that they're paying you for. You have to be willing to lose a little bit of yourself.